at 12. The Nightbeat starts right now.
The family of a murder victim continues grieving after an arrest is made 1 year after his death. You're going to hear from the victim's brother about the long wait for the investigation.
She was just a child when her family was in turmoil and they needed to flee their home fast. How a New Braunfels area group is using her story to help others.
A downtown steakhouse temporarily closed last month. The reason why and what employees told Tim Gerber when he takes us behind the kitchen door. But first,
a man accused of killing his 11-month-old daughter may have to stay in jail while he awaits trial.
We want to show you a picture of Stephen Clare. He is charged with capital murder in the death of a child. Today, the Bexar County DA's office filed a motion to deny bail for him. The move comes as other charges against Clare were upgraded.
Bexar County Criminal Defense District Attorney Joe Gonzalez releasing a statement today saying in part, quote, "A capital offense is the most serious crime one can commit. Mr. Clare should not be walking freely around our community after what he has been accused of doing. Our community values its children." End quote.
Now, police arrested Clare after the shooting on April 10th at a home on Robin Hood Place on the north side. The baby's mother and 2-year-old sister were also injured. They were released recently from the hospital, and you could read more about this story right now on KSAT.com. Not closure, but accountability. That's what the family of 39-year-old Jared Papin is looking for.
Yeah, Papin was brutally murdered nearly a year ago at his Stone Oak apartment complex. And last night, San Antonio police arrested the person they think killed him.
The victim's brother spoke with the night team's John Paul Barajas.
There's no such thing as closure, just for whatever it's worth. I don't know. It's a myth. What we'll do is we'll continue grieving and coping and moving forward and loving each other and taking care of each other. We'll continue to remember Jared Anthony Papin.
It's grief Justin Papin has carried for nearly a year. His little brother Jared was killed May 14th of last year. Last night, San Antonio police arrested the suspect, 27-year-old Malik Pryor.
We've also been going through a year of pain, and last night, when I've got the news, I didn't even realize how much I had been holding inside of me in grief and fear that this animal is still on the loose.
According to an arrest affidavit, Papin and Pryor were neighbors at an apartment complex on the 1200 block of Agora Palms Drive. The two were known to have heated arguments, and on the day of Papin's death, it's believed Pryor forced Papin into his apartment with a gun, then used the gun to cause blunt force trauma, as well as used an electrical cord during the killing.
Think about that moment when they were fearing and they knew that their life was being taken away, and they're fighting for air, or they're fighting for life, and they're thinking, what was going through his head? His mom? Us? That's what goes through my head.
The affidavit states Pryor's girlfriend went to the apartment that afternoon. She saw Papin sitting up against the sofa and believed he was passed out. When she asked Pryor about it, he blew it off, and she didn't push the issue to avoid an argument. The next day, she returned when she saw Papin in the same exact position and realized he wasn't alive. She then called police.
We're really looking forward to the Bexar County District Attorney having some courage to throw the book at this animal.
Currently, Pryor is accused of murder, a first-degree felony, which is punishable by 5 to 99 years in prison. At this time, he is being held here at the Bexar County Jail on a $150,000 bond. At the Bexar County Jail, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Now, new in the night beat tonight, hundreds of thousands of fentanyl doses are off the streets tonight. Governor Greg Abbott says that Texas DPS agents seized 507,000 lethal doses, in Austin. Now, agents also found other drugs, guns, ammunition, and stolen vehicles. Agents also arrested 2 people, and now those people are facing federal charges.
Found his luggage, lost his truck. We've got an update to a story we first told you about on the Night Beat. His truck stolen from a San Antonio parking garage at the airport while he was on vacation.
But tonight we have new video, and it shows the whole thing playing out. So the video came from the truck's owner after he received it from the city of San Antonio through an open records request. Now, first, you can see 2 people wearing hoodies getting in and out of that truck. Eventually, one of them gets into the driver's seat and then just takes off with it.
Yeah, now later in the video, you see that truck, you're going to see it right here, just blowing through the gate to get out of that parking garage. The truck and the people who stole it have not been found tonight.
So lots of questions after a tragic scene unfolded overnight. A toddler accidentally shot in the head after a gun hit the floor and just went off. Happened around 3 this morning on Kent Store Street near South Ellison on the west side. We're told the boy's parents rushed him to the hospital, and at last check, the child was in critical condition. Police are saying the gun was laying right on top of a TV when the little boy knocked it down. It fell and it fired. A 3-year-old was also in the home at the time of the shooting, but that boy was not hurt.
A frightening scene, and the search continues tonight for the person who shot a man at a crowded Fiesta event in Market Square. Police say an argument led to that gunfire. A 25-year-old man hit in the chest, taken to the hospital. The suspect was wearing a hoodie at the time. Police say there is a heavy police presence during Fiesta events downtown, but you should still be aware of your surroundings while you're out having fun and celebrating.
The Cameron County Sheriff's Office issued a clear alert for Shauna Messer. That's her picture there. She's 38 years old, 5'6", weighs about 120 pounds. She has brown hair, blue eyes. She was last seen in Brownsville, and authorities think that she's in danger. So they're asking anybody with information who's seen her, just take a really good look at her picture. If you've seen her recently, call the Cameron County Sheriff's Office. Their number's on your screen. It's 956-554-6700.
She was just a child when her family was crumbling and they needed to flee their home. Now, one New Braunfels woman is using her story to be a voice for children whose families continue to need services provided by the Crisis Center of Comal County.
And she tells the Night Team's Patty Santos how the women's shelter actually transformed her life.
I was in 6th grade, and my mom came into my room with 2 trash bags and said, one is for you and one is for your sister. Load it up, don't say a thing, we're leaving in the morning and never coming back.
Heather Harrison was taken to a safe house at 11 years old. She remembers the difficult transition.
I was a little embarrassed ashamed that I was living in something like that instead of my own home. It was a short moment only.
Now Harrison says it's a decision that transformed her life for the better. The development director for Hope Hospice, a nonprofit, is using her voice and experience to help raise awareness for the Crisis Center of Comal County.
I am honored to be able to help raise money for the Crisis Center shelter. Round 2.
She was there in the 90s for the Crisis Center's first capital campaign fundraiser. That money helped build the shelter that burned down a year ago.
This is a year where we're looking to rebuild our shelter and transform it into something else.
Crisis Center Director Julie Strench says Harrison's story is an example of the important work the Crisis Center can do to save young children and families.
They can feel safe and begin to hope that they can have some semblance of a life that they were used to without the violence.
Out of the 500 people served by the shelter last year, nearly half of those were children.
The generational effect of being removed from a dangerous situation, a violent household, even if it's simply that child doesn't see the behavior and then model it later, even if it's simply that, then that to me is a win, and that needs to be supported.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
More history here. The shelter has been around for 36 years, and in that time, it has changed names and locations, but its commitment to protect families of domestic violence is the same. Now, tonight, that center held its annual gala, which brings in about 8% of its budget, and our own Patty Santos emceed that event.
Now for a look at some of today's big stories in your Nightbeat News Flash. The 2 kids belonging to the couple that owned the dogs in February's deadly attack, well, those children are going to stay in their grandmother's custody. Christian Moreno and his wife, Abilene Schneider, will have supervised weekly visits with their 12-year-old twins, as agreed to by the visiting judge. Moreno didn't go to the most recent custody hearing since he was meeting with his probation officer. The couple arrested after investigators confirmed 3 of their dogs escaped their yard and attacked and killed 81-year-old Ramon Najera and injured his wife on February 24th. The TSA in Hawaii confiscated weapons taped to a man's leg. They were found when a traveler tried to board a flight in Honolulu. TSA agents at the Daniel K. Inouye International Airport were doing a routine screen when they found a butterfly knife, collapsible baton, and a knife concealed inside a comb, all taped to his leg under his jeans. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
All right, we're still partying on here. The Battle of Flowers Parade kicks off tomorrow morning, and you could join our watch party along the parade route. Just scan that QR code that you see there to buy tickets, which come with 2 tacos, assigned seatings, and yes, bathrooms. Plus, you also get to hang out with the KSAT crew, so it's a good deal.
It condemned food and plumbing problems. It's what health inspectors found at 4 local restaurants. Tim Gerber takes us behind the kitchen door to see who racked up the violations.
A downtown steakhouse temporarily shut down by health inspectors last month because of plumbing issues, and inspectors also found more violations at other local businesses.
The Night Team's Tim Gerber shows us what they found behind the kitchen door.
Range, located inside the Embassy Suites Hotel downtown in the 100 block of East Houston Street, earned an 81 on their March health inspection. It also led to a temporary shutdown. The inspector found raw steaks and raw salmon in cold units that weren't being kept cold enough. Those items were discarded. There were several bottles of expired heavy cream in a cooler, and raw meats were being improperly stored next to ready-to-eat food without covers. Their big problem, though, there was no hot water at the time of the inspection, so the inspectors suspended their license.
I'm with KSAT. I do the behind the kitchen door.
I stopped by this week to see what happened. Employees told me they were only shut down a few hours and were able to resume operations when the hot water was fixed. IHOP in the 100 block of Southwest Loop 410 earned an 84 on their recent inspection. Some food was condemned because the cold unit wasn't cold enough. They had cross-contamination problems, including a bowl stacked on top of lettuce, and raw bacon was on a cutting board that contained non-raw animal products. An employee was prepping food without the proper hair restraint, and the business was told to perform more frequent cleanings. A re-inspection was ordered. Taco Boulevard, located in the 18,000 block of Blanco Road, comes in with an 84. They had to toss out refried beans that were past their expiration date. Eggs were being held at room temp. There was equipment stored in a hand sink preventing workers from using it, and there was a significant leak that needed to be fixed. They were also reminded to not let frozen foods thaw at room temp. Boba Tea at 3850 South New Braunfels got an 85. A manager had to lower the temperature on a cold unit. Raw eggs were improperly stored. A hot water faucet needed repairs. Employees weren't using hairnets or hats, and others were wearing bracelets. A re-inspection was ordered. That's what's behind the kitchen door. Tim Gerber, KSAT 12 News.
Now we're going to take a live look outside I-10 right now. I'm looking at the temperature, 69 degrees, but I'm watching out for the Battle of Flowers Parade because that's going to start at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, it gets going in the morning, and it's going to be pleasant, to be honest with you. It's going to be okay. The Battle of Flowers Parade, everything's going to be just fine for the parade, and even for several hours.
I think our
thereafter.
coverage starts at 8. The parade starts later than 8.
Oh,
I think,
okay.
Yeah, coverage
starts at 8.
Parade's 9:30?
Yeah, something 9:30, 10-ish, something like that.
Well, I just remember the days when it started at noon.
That's what I was
12:30.
remembering too, yeah.
That was a sweat fest for everybody.
But if it would have started at noon tomorrow,
yeah.
not so bad.
You're right, it could have, and it wouldn't be as bad. But I remember everybody would clear out from the bleachers in the sun, in the direct sunlight, because it's just too hot. Anyway, those days are behind us. Storms likely tomorrow evening, and then clear and cool for Flambeau. Actually, unusually cool for Flambeau. All right, take a look at our forecast for tomorrow. Let's get right into it. 7 a.m., we're at 62 degrees, mostly cloudy, increasing humidity tonight. Dew points rising, so you'll notice some stickiness for the parade tomorrow. But notice, 10 a.m., 70 and partly cloudy. By noon, 79 degrees and mostly sunny. Then we'll warm up into the 80s. So 87 by tomorrow afternoon. 4 o'clock, we'll hit 87 degrees. And notice that 40% chance of storms by 5 o'clock. Most of that's going to be off into the hill country and locations northwest of San Antonio. But at 4 or 5 o'clock, we'll start to have to watch the radar and be weather aware, look off to the northwest. Our primary storm potential is from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. tomorrow. That's when we're expecting most of the storms to really get going around San Antonio, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Here's our future cast. It picks up on those low clouds in the morning as a result of the increasing humidity and the higher dew points. By 10 o'clock, sunny. Through the afternoon, nothing but sunshine. But then, as I mentioned, 4 or 5 o'clock, we start looking off to the northwest for thunderstorms to develop. This particular high-res computer model has them starting to hit San Antonio around 7 p.m. It could be anywhere from 6 to 8 p.m. when that broken line of storms moves in. It's going to be along a cold front, and anywhere along this section of this cluster of storms, anywhere along there, we could have sections of severe weather with straight line winds and large hail posing the primary threats. Once we get to 11 o'clock and midnight, that's when the activity clears east of town, and it's just in some locations closer to the Gulf Coast. But that's you, Hallettsville, Cuero, Yorktown, Gonzales area, Victoria. You'll still have that activity closer to midnight, and some of that could still be strong to severe. Again, primary threats. Straight line wind gusts 60 to 70 miles per hour within some of those storms, and maybe some hail cores, little pockets of hail that poses a moderate risk. Behind that cold front, it's going to get gusty. I mean, on Saturday, we're looking at wind gusts, non-thunderstorm wind gusts Saturday, 40 miles per hour in the morning, but then diminishing and falling off as we approach flambeau time. So if you have the outdoor plans tomorrow, or you're set up for Fiesta for tomorrow evening, you'll want to be very careful and take the necessary precautions. Maybe break down the tents for tomorrow evening for several hours because of those storms. Then by Saturday, just gusty winds out of the northwest, but cool. 73, the high temperature on Saturday. It's the end of April. It's hard to believe. 73, the high, that's with full sunshine. And then during the flambeau parade, we'll be down in the 60s. Not as breezy, down in the 60s, low humidity, clear sky. Kind of unbelievable thinking back to previous and past flambeau weather, especially when it's, Fiesta at the end of April. Anyway, Sunday morning 51, Sunday afternoon sunny and 82. The humidity starts to return again by next Tuesday. I'm still in shock. I really am that we're having this kind of weather for these parades.
Remember last year it was so dry?
Well, I remember
it was really, and warm.
Also, lots of allergies.
Yes.
All the yolk
yes.
is in the air.
All that stuff.
So, yeah, we're past that now.
All right, so the Cowboys with a surprise pick for a lot of people.
Yeah, many thought they were going after a tight end, but the guy they were zeroing in on went before the Cowboys pick at number 26. So the Cowboys flipped to the other side of the ball and drafted a defensive lineman, kind of shocking some fans. Plus, the Houston Texans made a trade to get 2 picks in the top 3. They made a big move coming up.
With the second pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select C.J. Stroud, quarterback, Ohio State.
At 7:25 tonight, the mystery was solved. The Houston Texans went with the QB with their first pick in Big Board Sports.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
With the second overall pick tonight, the Houston Texans drafted former Ohio State quarterback C.J. Stroud. Now, during the last few days leading up to the draft, it wasn't really known what the Texans were planning to do. There was a lot of talk. They were thinking about passing on a quarterback, and they would go with a defender instead. Some thought that was just a smokescreen, and maybe it was. Whatever was going on, C.J. Stroud is now the face of the Texans franchise.
We want to bring wins on wins on wins, and we ain't going to be perfect. I think that's something that I want to talk about, just not being perfect, just being ourselves, man. And really, if that's what it is, like, I don't think there's really no limit on what me and Will can do. Like, I ain't going to put no limit on what we can do our rookie season. We turned this whole thing around. So, yeah, I don't really know, man. I really feel like there's a really special feeling as I go to Houston.
Immediately after drafting second, the Texans shook up the draft by trading up to the third overall pick to snag edge rusher Will Anderson Jr. from the University of Alabama, where he earned the nickname the Terminator during his sophomore season. He was named SEC Defender of the Year in back-to-back seasons in 2021 and 22. He was high on the Texans draft board, and they moved up to get the Terminator. So what does that mean to him?
It just gives me so much more confidence, to walk in there and just be myself and be Will Anderson, knowing that I have a coaching staff that really wanted me and, really seen something in me. And I think, for me, that's really what I'm big on, relationships. So just to see that, it just makes me want to go 10 times harder, not only for, the coaches, but for my teammates, for the Texans, for the city of Houston, for my family, everything.
Here's the trade details between Houston and Arizona. The Texans get the 3rd and 105th pick. The Cardinals get the 12th and 33rd pick, plus a 2024 first and 3rd round selection. And with the 26th overall pick, the Dallas Cowboys drafted defensive tackle Mozzie Smith from the University of Michigan. It was believed Dallas was planning to draft tight end Dalton Kincaid, but the Bills traded picks with the Jags to get Kincaid at 25, one spot ahead of the boys. Now, back in October 2022, Smith was stopped by police for speeding, and he was arrested for possessing a concealed weapon without a valid license to carry one. He later told reporters he was in the process of completing the paperwork to acquire the proper permit when he was stopped by police. He pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor and was sentenced to probation. And how about this? Per the Bleacher Report, Micah Parsons texted Dallas defensive coordinator Dan Quinn today asking to draft Smith, and he got his wish. Former Texas Longhorns running back Bijan Robinson, considered the best back in this year's draft, was selected by the Falcons with the 8th overall pick. He's the highest drafted running back since Saquon Barkley, who went 2nd overall in 2018. Bijan is a beast, and it's his ability to be a pass catcher that sets him apart.
It's just such a blessing to be here on this team and to, see how I can contribute and to use my skill sets that I've been blessed with. But, man, I'm so excited to, get going and to show, the city of Atlanta, what was being cooked up.
Check out the top 10 selections tonight. Carolina picked QB Bryce Young, first overall. No surprise there. You have Stroud and Anderson going 2-3 to the Texans. The Colts drafted quarterback Anthony Richardson 4th. And with the 5th pick, Seattle tabbed corner Devin Witherspoon 6 through 10 as offensive tackle Paris Johnson Jr. to Arizona. Defensive end Tyree Wilson to the Raiders. Bijan to Atlanta 8th overall. DT Jalen Carter was selected by the Eagles. And rounding out the top 10, the Bears drafted offensive tackle Darnell Wright. A career minor leaguer finally got called up to the show after the break. Let's play ball. The Rangers hosting the Yankees in Arlington today. Top of the 2nd, the Yankees put 3 on the board, capped off by this bases-loaded RBI single from shortstop Anthony Volpe. That was more than enough run support as the Yankees go on to win 4-2, handing Texas its 4th straight loss.
Number 39, Drew Maggi will pinch hit for Andrew McCutchen, making his Major League debut.
Last night was special for career minor leaguer Drew Maggi, who made his Major League debut at 33 years old with the Pirates. Pinch hitting in the bottom of the 8th, he ripped the 3rd pitch of his AB deep, but fouled down the left field line. He would eventually strike out on a slider down low to go 0 for 1 in his big league debut after playing 1,154 minor league games. Wow. The Missions, a.k.a. the Flying Chanclas, hosting the Naturals tonight. Bottom 2, Missions up 2-1 when Luis Savides Jr. hits a solo shot to left field. An easy souvenir for that fan standing near the ball. The Chanclas lead 3-1, and they win it by the final of 5-1.
Very cool for the Pirates to do that. For
yeah,
a career minor leaguer to get a shot at the show.
That was, I think, the sports story of the day yesterday. It's very cool.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry.
We'll be right back.
Tomorrow morning, a little bit of patchy fog early, otherwise a sunny day. 62 at 7 a.m. By noon, we're near 80. Then a high of 87. It's going to be warm, and you will notice the humidity returning. So good thing Battle of Flowers Parade is in the morning, and it usually wraps up around or a little afternoon. Anyway, by the evening hours, that's when storms pick up around here. Between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. is our primary time frame with the severe storms possible. Then we get into Saturday. Everything clears out. Sunny, windy, cooler, low humidity, 73 for the Flambeau Parade. I'm still in disbelief. Low humidity, temperatures falling through the 60s and clear.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
No chanclas for us on Saturday.
No, sweaters.
You have to wear the closed-toe
Good night.
shoes.